I've been making YouTube videos for 9 years now. The first video I posted way back in the day in October of 2015 when I was a fitness YouTuber. The first video I posted was like my junior of high school, like 16-year-old pull workout motivation, which is just like a grainy video of slow-mo of me lifting weights with weird music in the background, up until now where I'm doing this. And I've posted hundreds of videos on YouTube and done stuff on Instagram and other social media platforms. And the reality is I hate social media. I really don't like it. Like I despise what social media is and does and what it has been for me. And of course, I am just so part of the problem because I continue to make things, and this video is super ironic, but it has just been on my mind because I've intentionally taken another one of these breaks from social media over the past month or so. And I just do this all the time where I'm oscillating between like, okay, I'm a step away from like media consumption. Like I'm going to stop consuming as much social media, delete the apps from my phone, like to log out of the accounts and stuff. And then after a little while, I get back on them and I have like maybe an okay relationship with it, but then it just like gets sucked back in. And it just always happens. And I really don't like social media. And as I, think about how to create content for social media, part of like the content creator's mind is like, how do the platforms work? And like, what is the audience looking for? What kind of videos and content work on different platforms? And just like doing like analysis of social media to try to create effective content makes me despise what social media is and how much of a trap that it is. Because when I think about like what the good of social media maybe is like, maybe it is something that, at its core, it's supposed to be something that connects people. Like it's a social media. And I think it actually does the total opposite of that. I think mostly what it does, and maybe it gives us some like sense of connection to the outside world, but doesn't connect individuals. It isolates individual with an isolated feeling of connection to the outside world, which isn't real. Like maybe I know what's going on, or I have some sense of like I'm in the loop on some trends and things, but it doesn't connect me with real people. So it's fake. It's not social media. It's just media. It's isolating. So maybe like the core thing, the reason for social media is that it's supposed to be social and it's not. And then maybe the other two fruits of what social media could be is it could be entertaining and it could be informative. And maybe there's other things, but these are just the things that come to mind. So it could be entertaining, and probably for a lot of people it is. Like they just spend a lot of time on social media finding things that are entertaining, whether it's videos or posts or pictures or whatever it is, just like some kind of entertainment for me. But entertainment is not supposed to just be an end in itself. I think that we're supposed to consume things that are entertaining so that they give us some kind of joy or good feeling, or like maybe lighten some of the load of our burden, so that we can go back out into the world and perform our regular tasks and live as human beings effectively. Entertainment is not an end in itself in that we just continue to consume constantly entertainment. But what social media does, social media is such a trap that I consume something that's entertaining to me, and then because it is endless, because social media seems like inexhaustible, it's like, well, I could just stay here. And this is literally how social media platforms are made, for there to be more options for you always. Like the options never end for what the entertainment could be. So then entertainment just becomes an end in itself. We become trapped in this cycle of just constantly finding more and more entertainment. It doesn't actually benefit us for when we leave. Then we just feel sad that we're out in the real world because there's this like quick fix dopamine thing that we found in social media. So we just keep going back to it. It's addictive. It's addictive entertainment. And that's not really what entertainment is supposed to be. So really, like maybe you find it as entertaining, but it becomes an end unto itself. It becomes a trap. Maybe you find social media and content that you find there to be informative. And that's really mostly what my content approach is, rather than for it to be like me using social media as a way to connect with people or a way to entertain people. It's mostly as a way to inform and inspire people. And again, the goal of informational or inspirational content is for you to take that information and then go and apply it to your life outside of the media from which you consumed it. But the trap of social media, again, is there is endless information, there is endless inspiration to be gained. So then all we are doing is just constantly receiving more and more information, more and more inspiration, but it never actually takes real life application. And maybe it does for some people. Maybe it does. And I think this is the only way in which I see social media to be good. And that is why I make the content that I do, because I believe that when I'm making videos, when I'm posting stuff, like I don't post things unless I think it has real life application to be used outside of the content itself, that someone can watch the video and they can actually change their life. Like they can do something with it. They can watch the video and be done and leave and go do something and change their life. But it's so often not what social media does. I see this a lot because my like YouTube rabbit holes are stuff like business and entrepreneurship videos where I just like watch more and more and more, or like social media content creator strategy stuff. And instead of like taking this, like I was literally just doing this before I posted this video, is I was like watching like social media content creator brainstorming strategies. And instead of taking that strategy to then implement it, I just kept watching more videos. But that's not actually the point of informational content. So to take it and apply it to something useful in your life. But the trap of social media is because it's endless, it's inexhaustible, and we just get this fix of maybe dopamine from like, I just learned something, I was just inspired, so give me more of that. Instead of, let me take that and apply it to my life. So I despise social media, actually. And like I said, I wrestle with this all the time, of whether or not to continue to make content, but I probably will in some way, shape, or form. And of course, I'm going to upload this video because I do think that there is a way in which social media can be informative, inspirational, and be used as applicable things to people's lives. So here's maybe my applicable thing here. Is I, the social media content creator who hates social media, can see these things and what it does. What can it be for you? If you find yourself in that same trap, if you're in that position where you probably the one of two, because again, social media is not social most often. It really does not connect people most often, especially stuff like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, most often we're not actually connecting with real people. Then entertainment or information. If social media is entertaining for you, then I would say put like very strict boundaries around what you consume, like time limits and stuff, because it is so hard to get out of the place where social media is just entertainment. If that is all it is for you, it is easier to fall into the trap of entertainment being an end unto itself. And that you'll just continue scrolling through like feeds of shorts. Like the next short that comes up, you just continue to watch it. The next reel that comes up, you just continue to watch it, continue to be entertained. So I'd put strict boundaries around it, and I would maybe even say, get the heck off social media. Because you can find entertainment in many different ways that aren't as addictive or trapping. So I would almost say just get out. If the second thing applies to you, where you most often consume social media for informational or inspirational purposes, then I would pay very close attention to when you consume some content, do you actually do something with it? Like if you watch this video right now, like before you click on the next thing, if you've made it this far in this long rambling video of mine, if you made it this far, maybe pay some attention to before you click on the next video. Is there some like actionable step that you're going to take from this? Did you click on this video intentionally, or are you already deep in this rabbit hole of like information overload, inspiration overload, entertainment overload? If it's entertainment, this is not, I don't know why you clicked on this video. But like, do you do something with the information that you consume? And maybe make that be like the parameters around which you decide whether or not social media is something that's good for you. My last note on this is like, I think we feel maybe, this is maybe the whole social thing, that like if we aren't on social media, then we'll be disconnected from the world, that we will be isolated in some way because we aren't in the loop on the things that take place in the like virtual reality that is social media, that is like its own reality. And I don't think that's true. I think that's a trap of the addictive nature of social media. It's the false promise of social media that if you are away from it, then you will be out of the loop and you will be isolated. But I think the reality is that if you are too involved in social media, then you are out of the loop of reality and you are isolated in social media rather than being connected in the real world. So maybe just take some practical examination of what your use of social media looks like. And if you don't like it, then you have permission to get out, just to leave. I think that's all of my rambling for today. Thanks.